After some research and planning, I packed up my gear and headed for West Texas. I spent the night at South Llano State Park and did a little bit of birdwatching before setting out on my first official stop. On the way, I couldn't resist stopping for a quick swim, but had a major mishap with my phone. Determined to not let that ruin my trip, I proceeded to Davis Mountain State Park. I checked in, set up camp, had an early dinner, and layered up for a chilly night with the stars. I'd made a reservation for a star party at the McDonald Observatory. While I couldn't take any video, I did snap a couple of photos. It was a great introduction into night sky observation. The speaker was engaging and funny, and I felt that I left knowing a lot more about constellations and star navigation. I also got to look through some really powerful telescopes and see galaxies and nebulas. I spent the rest of the night watching for meteors and playing around with my camera before dozing off to the starlit night. Day 2 was dedicated to the trails. After breakfast, I decided on the Old CCC Trail and the Skyline Drive Trail, making sort of a loop. The trails were moderate but afforded some great views up at the top. Distant mountains and sweeping views of the desert for as far as you could see. I couldn't have asked for better weather. The sky was cloudless and a cool breeze kept me from roasting under the desert sun. I do recommend sun protection because there is very little shade on these trails. It also would benefit you to start as early as possible so that you can beat the desert heat. It was so cool to see all the CCC structures and bridges throughout the trails. After a long set of switchbacks, I was ready to relax for the rest of the evening. I spent the remainder of the day sketching and reading up on the next portion of my trip. I was up with the sun on day 3. I had a quick breakfast and stopped by the bird blind before embarking on the Montezuma Quail Trail and the Indian Lodge Trail. More great views, this time from the opposite ridge. It was fun seeing camp from so far away. I got some great views of the observatory and the Indian Lodge as well. I headed back down for lunch and found that I had some extra time. So I decided to do a little day trip to a place that was recommended by one of the friendly rangers. See where I went on the next video. Until next time, happy hiking!